Got ourselves a game from Strat Game and Black Knight. I don't know. I didn't watch this game. I didn't preview it. I didn't make sure it was any good. I just hopped in the voice chat with these two, hanging out, and I saw the very end, and it was funny. So, here we go. Let's see how we got there. Skaven versus Dark Elves. For the Skaven, we have a strat build, 4 Poison Globes, 4 Rat Ogres, a metric crap ton of Clan Rats, some with spears, some without. Ikaclaw on his Doom Wheel, with Flensing Ruin, Owling Warp Gale, Unlimited Power, and the Brass Orb. We do have a Chieftain, just on his Bone Breaker, otherwise butt naked, doesn't have any extra stats. And then a Packmaster, with running with the pack. I saw that, the AoE healing for Molder monsters in melee. And that's it. Didn't bring Shot Call or anything like that. The other side for the Dark Elves, do have the Crows of Cain. 4 Dark Riders overall. Nope, just 3 Dark Riders. 1 Cold Knight, 2 Manticores, a Supreme Sorceress of Dark, Honor Dragon with Soul Stealer, Dread Spears, triple Dark Shard, 1 Bolt Thrower, and 2 Bleak Swords, though the map Alpine Ridge does make the Bolt Thrower a lot less useful. Both sides moving up, going to double fast forward till they actually do something, as the Bolt Throwers are just trying to poke at Poison Globes. They won't do that much damage, though. I'd personally prefer the Bolt Thrower would go single shot and shoot at Icket, because he doesn't have healing. Packmaster's heal doesn't apply to him because he's on a Doom Wheel, not on a Molder mount. Dark Shards also kind of wreck Poison Globes when they fire at them, so I think they'll be better than the Bolt Thrower at that task. But it looks like for now they were shooting at Rat Ogres. No, that one's shooting at the right target, and a Breath Attack piled onto it. It's probably going to take that globe out of the fight right away, as the Skaven delete 2 Dread Spears and a Dark Rider with their globes. Cold Knights are probably going to have to be pulled forward and get rid of these Rat Ogres, though I'm sure it is concerning with all those globes nearby. Manticores are going to have to get a little more aggressive. Manticores are going to have to fly in and just sacrifice their bodies to shut down the globes while the rest of your army does its work against the Rat Ogres. These Cold Knights are still being delayed in that pull forward. Here come the Dark Riders trying to sneak through the Skaven lines along with the Crows of Cain. Again, just doing that disruption as now the Cold Knights are getting activated and they'll run straight at the Rat Ogres. But the globes have been free firing for quite a while, getting really good damage out. Though Dark Shards have gotten a bit of a response, these globes are also primed to rout if the Manticore dives on them, but right in front of the entire Hero Hammer. I'm sure that's why the Manticore doesn't want to land right now, but it's currently on a path where it's following this other Manticore, so now they're both in the same place, and it makes them easier to shut down. And the Manticore's going to dive onto Rat Ogres? I'm very confused what's happening right now. There we go. It finally finds its way onto the globes, and it tears both of them, which is what I wanted, but unfortunately it let an entire Dark Shard die for that cause, so a bit of a whoopsie there. On the other side, we have a Soul Stealer onto the Packmaster, and maybe Icket. Nope, he avoided it. Try and heal up the Supreme Sorceress of Dark. She has been stuck in place from an overcasted Howling Warp Gale for quite a while. It just wears off now and maybe lets her get free. Now for the Dark Elves, all 4 Poison Globes were pushed back, and these 2 are getting wrapped up by Dark Riders, so no real issue there. The other ones are currently free and clear to come back, but we'll see if that remains the case. For the Skaven, they have gotten really good damage down onto the Dark Elf front line, routed off a lot of units, and they even punished the Supreme Sorceress for a bit. Now she did Soul Stealer to heal some of it, and the Dark Riders lose the plot! They let both the globes come back! Oh no! Oh no. Oh well. Dark Shard's firing in onto the Rat Ogres still. Dark Rider's going to countercharge. The Flensing Ruin is still active, so these Manticores do have to stay away from the Dark Elf Sorceress. Before the Skaven, all 4 of their globes have rallied. Now Dark Riders are trying to run down these Rat Ogres, and they will rout them, but if the globes get off another volley, that'll be brutal. 1 globe wandered into melee combat, though, luckily enough for the Dark Riders. The other globe is throwing, and they do so much damage to cavalry. Just so much. Another Soul Stealer, this one for damage out from the Sorceress. It will actually heal her up a bit, but it hits all 3 single entities, which was the main point. Dark Shards firing at Rat Ogres, getting decent damage down. And these Cold Knights do need to countercharge back in. I don't know where they're going, but they're letting their Dark Shards get shut down for free. And now the Sorceress has dove in to try and do that work for them, but she's under attack. These Cold Knights need to turn around. Get back here! Where are you going? Where are you going? There you go! Get in here! Jesus! Anyway, what are we doing? Manticore's chasing off globes on that side. This Manticore's coming back to the fight now. Dark Shards are rallying in, firing in. This is still a pretty messy game for the Skaven. They're not enjoying it whatsoever as they don't have anything to run stuff down that gets routed off, so the Dark Elves are ahead on the balance of power. Their only real damage is coming in onto the Supreme Sorceress of Dark, but she can heal herself up a lot, and both Manticores still being full health is a problem. And most of their globes, though they were allowed to rally at different points, they are still at that leadership stage where they're just so low that Manticores and these Crows of Cain could cycle route them and just get them to shatter rather than having to kill them outright. Dark Shards rallied here, but they're facing the wrong direction for now. Cold One Knights are going to chase off Rat Ogres, and the Supreme Sorceress Dark is back into the sky. If she can get another Soul Stealer onto the triple clumped up single entities, she'll be happy for the healing, but also to get that crucial damage onto them. This is going to be a good pick-off on the Rat Ogres on the flanks. Terror routes them, maybe even turn into a natural route and actually take them off the field as Dark Shards Bleak Swords attempt to rejoin the fight. Ikit and the boys are just routing off some Dark Shards being chased around by Cold One Knights that they're largely ignoring for now. A full health Manticore in the distance is chasing off globes. He is not doing nothing. You just can't see the globe over there because it's shattered, but I remember him looking for it. And there's a Flensing Ruin onto Cold One Knights and random chaff. Flensing Ruin does most of its damage to single entities, so I don't know about that. I'm concerned. Color me concerned. Rat Ogres pile into these Dark Shards. A rear charge in from Packmaster should route those guys, and the edge of the map is right here. That'll get rid of them. Manticore will try and fight it out. He has to be worried about getting Rampaged right in front of the Packmaster and Ikit, because he'll lose the 2v1 if he gets Rampaged. Obviously, the Dark Elves can't pull him back. Clan Rats trying to clean out these Dread Spears and Cold One Knights. They'll do a pretty good job. Cold One Knights don't generally like that kind of thing. And there's another triple Soul Stealer. Hitting all three of the single entities once again. The Manticore is actually really close to routing, which is scary when he's right next to the edge of the map like that. If he routes, that's like a full health Manticore just dead. Oh, big damage all of a sudden. Half HP, 1/3 HP. Big breath attack from the Dark Elf Lord to just try and punish this area. Gets a little bit of damage onto Ikit, gets some damage onto the spears, but that is a dead Manticore. Oh boy. And this Bolt Thrower has been online this whole game. Still hasn't even come close to paying for itself because Bolt Throwers kind of suck at certain things. Their only good thing, in my opinion, is single shot onto a single entity or chariots, but yeah, they just don't do any damage. No damage. So for the Skaven, they have some random rallying forces that can all try and recoalesce. For the Dark Elves, we still have the Crows of Cain at half health. We have over half health Dark Elf caster monster dragon lady. A Bolt Thrower that is about to be shut down, but it's trying to fire at Ikit real quick before it dies, and they miss a bunch of point-blank range. The Dark Elves still have another full health Manticore, a full health Bleak Sword over here. Though if Ikit has any of his brass orbs left, yeah, he has one. If that Bleak Sword is in that formation when he gets a brass orb onto it, it'll do like half its health. This is the end of the Bolt Throwers. Their crew dismounts and runs away to preserve their health and whatever, but they'll probably never get back onto their mounts effectively for the rest of the game. Crows of Cain route off some Rat Ogres. Dread Spears in the distance are trying to chase other Rat Ogres. What is that? That Clan Rat with Spear, how are they still routing? Hang on. How are you still routing? Is it the fact that a Cold One Knight next to you is routing that's doing it? I'll put the camera like this so you can see what's over there, but I'm really invested in this. 39 leadership and y'all are still routing, and the only thing near you is a routing Cold One Knight. That's fucked up. Cold One Knight isn't even near you anymore. What's wrong with you? There you go. Figured it out. Anyway. Back in the main fight, another Soul Stealer tries to hit all three. Oh, but the Chieftain and the Packmaster get out of it while Ikit drags it away from them. So that's actually pretty huge for this Skaven. Yeah, still good damage on Ikit Claw and whatever, but that is pretty huge for this Skaven. Dragon Lady not going to land on the Chieftain. But a Manticore is going to try to land on Ikit. It misses its charge attack, misses a second attack. And the Dark Elf Dragon lands on the Packmaster. She hits her charge attack, and the Brass Orb misses the Bleak Swords. As a Flensing Ruin Overcast is going on right now. Oh, that's getting double damage onto the Manticore and the Lady right now. Howling Warp Gale gonna net all the flyers in place. which leaves the Manticore pretty much alone on the ground. Never mind, the Crows of Cain just land anyway. But the Manticore gets cleaned up. And that is a big loss for the Dark Elves. The Crows of Cain also not feeling so good. And the Dragoncaster can maybe rejoin the fight with her Bleak Swords. This is probably her best opportunity, while she still has a very healthy Chaff Piece. But she misses her charge attack onto Ikit, and then starts sideways walking, and gets trapped up as the Chieftain gets a free charge onto her. Packmaster's also nearby to help out. And the Chieftain gets slapped real quick by her, but man, she's taking a lot of damage. Balance of power is coming back into the favor of the Skaven, and the Skaven have a pretty healthy Clan Rat Spear coming back from the woods. Kind of has to be now or never for them as the Crows of Cain do dive in, trying to punish the leadership of the Chieftain and the Packmaster here, which they are thinking about routing, but man, they're getting so much damage out on the Supreme Sorceress of Dark. Her heal cap's within sight. I think some of her Soul Stealers were just used for damage in the early game, so she maybe has like one left in her. Maybe one. The easiest way to track Soul Stealers is the heal cap, because every Soul Stealer is cast for healing purposes, you'll heal cap your caster and run out of Winds of Magic. So she needs 2 to heal cap. I think one of them in the early game was not used for healing, so I think she has 1 more. I think. It's a guessing game. Manticore is back. Crows of Cain are still here. The heal cap is getting close. And the Skaven crew is running around just trying to route random ass crap. Packmaster is heal capped. Chieftain's getting a little bit of healing every so often from the Packmaster. Ikit is stuck at the health he is stuck at. This Dragon Lady has no breath attacks, but she does get a charge onto the Clan Rats without single entities around. They're not quite able to rout them, and then a nasty Howling Warp Gale locks her in place as the Packmaster charges in, and they're sitting in spears. But there's the Soul Stealer we were all waiting for. Ikit tries to get out, he tries to dodge it, but it's too late. It does hit literally everything the Skaven have left. It even hits the Clan Rats' spears. So that is big, big damage value. The Packmaster's thinking about running. He's taking big chunks since he is officially heal capped. But the Manticore routes. The Crows of Cain are not able to help due to that Howling Warp Gale, but now they can opt back into the fight. The Dark Elf Supreme Sorceress is probably at the hell she's going to get, but unlimited power is popped for Ikit. He's trying to get more Winds of Magic, but I did see the overcast, so he damaged himself a bit in the process. Ikit's getting real low. -5 leadership for quite a bit, but he rallies up to 8. He is going to be okay somehow. The Packmaster never routed either, and the Supreme Sorcerer's Dark is getting beat up by the Chieftain. They're still fighting on these spears, and she does rout away, but now Ikit's still thinking about leaving. He doesn't know. Manticore is going to shatter, most likely. I think that's its 3rd route. There we go. It did shatter. We have some Dread Spears. We have the Crows of Cain. And a Howling Warp Gale nets this lady in place so she can't get away. She can't go rally. Packmaster routed for no reason, but he has positive leadership. He'll be back, and the Chieftain and these Clan Rats are trying to fight the Crows of Cain, but the Crows of Cain have healing. The Crows of Cain are not large, so the spears have less than optimal melee stats, but a terror out in for the Crows of Cain. All of a sudden, the Skaven are up on the balance of power, as only these Bleak Swords are in there fighting. There's Dread Spears in the distance that are trying to come back, though. Everything for the Dark Elves that was in combat is routing, except for the Supreme Sorceress of Dark is back. She's back, baby. Balance of power is dead even. The Skaven are going to try and chase these Dark Elves that are routing. Don't want them to rally. They want to get the Packmaster back into combat next to the Chieftain so the Chieftain can get a little bit of that AoE healing. The Crows of Cain managed to rally, though. Balance power goes back against the Skaven as they're trying to clutch it out. Dread Spears, unbraced, will get charged. They'll take some decent charge damage. And they haven't been terror-outed for a while, so these guys are going to terror out very, very quickly. But no, their leadership holds, because Dark Elves are brave, brave lads. Some Clan Rats still chasing off those Bleak Swords. There's the terror out for the Dread Spears. The second Dread Spear has committed, and their leadership is decently high for now. The Dark Elves are going to have to do something. It looks like they're maybe trying to snipe out Ikit. Then they just say, fuck it, and dive straight in. The Dark Elf Lord lands without hitting a charge attack, but there she gets a second attack, and that one actually hits the Packmaster. She misses another one, but Ikit routs. The Packmaster's thinking about routing too. And the Dark Elf caster routs. So does the Packmaster for a second time. Terror out onto the Chieftain. The only thing on the board for the Skaven was this Clan Rat, and they end up terror outing, and just like that, the Skaven lose an absolute slobber knocker of a game. Ikit, 2,800 value. Chieftain, 1,700. 1,700-ish for the Packmaster. They both got around that 1,750 mark. Rat Ogres did okay. Globes did okay. I have noticed that globes don't pay for themselves a lot recently. That's hard. And Clan Rats did fine. For Black Knight is Caster Lord, 4,300 damage value. Onto a Lord that severely needs to be nerfed. It has Soul Stealer plus Dragon has needed to be nerfed for over a year at this point. Right after Mortal Empires, when they buffed up dragons and Imrik and Malekith became meta. That shit was sweet over a year ago, but by this point I'm getting pretty sick of Dragon Lords just Soul Stealing their way to a victory. Crows of Cain did fine. Manticores struggled a bit, but they did tear right off some globes for a bit. Dark Riders did not get a lot of value. There were some whoopsies with them and chasing down Skaven things. Dark Shards did well. Cold Knights did okay. Tread Spears did fine. Bolt Thrower did poopy, considering how long it was left to shoot. GG. Roar.
Subscribe, yes, yes.